when we start budgeting. We don't worry about having the money. We just decide, hey, let's buy it anyway. I think that gets us in predicaments that we have a hard time getting out of. But before I go on, I just wanted to make a disclaimer here. I am not a budget specialist. I am not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm an engineer. I've done a lot of these budget practices in my life, so I'm really doing this based on my experience as a whole. So when I talk about budgeting, I'm really talking about a mindset. So I believe budgeting is 95% mindset and 5% actual money. I think we buy things just to buy them. I think that's one of the main reasons we buy things. We just to buy them. We don't think about the future. We don't think about anything long term at all. We just, right here, right now, we're going to buy it. We also buy things we don't need and buy them for the wrong reasons. I have bought things I don't need. I have a Sonos system upstairs in my media room. I don't need it. We buy things just to compete with other people. So if someone buys a new vehicle, we feel like, oh, we need to buy a new vehicle. Or if someone buys a new house, we feel like, oh, we need to buy a new house to keep up with them. An old saying most of you probably know is keeping up with the Joneses. And that is a terrible way to live, because no matter how much stuff you have, you will never have enough. All right, let's take a look at some stats that I pulled up for this video. The first one is non-mortgage debt per age group. You can see there that it's in the billions and / trillions for most of them. Most of the age group, obviously 30 to 49 is going to be your larger age groups there. But it's a little bit crazy there that 60 years old plus have a fair amount of debt. And again, this is average, so there are going to be some people who have zero debt, and there are going to be some people who have a little bit more than others, if you will. But that's the time period where I feel like we should have slush funds available for us to be able to make payments on things we need. Now, I do not want to skim over the fact that this could also be medical reasons. I do want to note that as well. So the next one, we see that men, as usual, women make better decisions than we do. So we have more debt than women. Credit card, not too bad, but if you go into personal loans, auto loans, and mortgage debt, we're seeing a lot more of that, especially personal and auto loans. Men tend to make decisions on a much quicker basis, rash decisions that tend to affect us long term without thinking it through as much as we probably should. I've done that on a couple of occasions myself. Sometimes I fight my way through those urges. Last one, you'll see average loans for automobiles. So this is Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, Baby Boomers, and Silent Generation, and all of them are a little bit crazy to me because a lot of people I'm seeing have 2 monthly payments or 2 auto loans. Again, this is the per age group, so this is including everyone in those age groups. Gen Z at 6.3% having 2 auto loans was pretty amazing and pretty scary in my opinion. So those are the statistics, but I do want to make one more note that we are $1 trillion in debt as a society, which is unbelievable. I think we just passed that threshold a couple days ago. So how do we change our mindset? Well, I believe the first thing we need to do is understand what's really important in our lives. In a way, I'm going to kind of use an example here is if you're on your deathbed, right, and you're thinking back, what do you want to think about? Do you want to think about that 60, 70 hours a week you worked just to make money so that you could buy things and what have you? Or do you want to think back and say, hey, I worked 40 to 50 hours a week, sometimes less, and I was able to spend a lot of time with my family. I remember baseball games, they're hot, but my kid got his first home run. Are those going to be your memories? Because I think that's a great mindset to kick into, because that is really where we need to spend our time and probably spend our resources. So that's what we should be budgeting towards. Second, we need to understand what we're budgeting for. right? So are we budgeting again to keep up with people, or are we budgeting to do things with our family, or to buy things to better our family's life, or to take trips, or what have you? I feel like those are the important things in life. And again, these are my opinions. I mean, there might be people who want to be absolutely loaded rich, and that's the number one priority. That's fine. I just feel like that comes with loneliness. I feel like that comes with burdens that I don't know about because I've not dealt with it personally. But I feel like understanding what we're budgeting for and how to get there is very, very important. Third, to get a good mindset, you really have to set goals for yourself, right? So what are the things you want to budget for? Do you want to budget for a new house because you're running 3 people deep in a bedroom and you really would like to get them in separate rooms? Would you like to budget for a truck that you can use because you're using, like I am, a Chevy Equinox to pull 12-foot trailers around? Not smart, but I don't see myself spending $60,000-ish on a truck. Are you saving for a trip? Is it a trip you want to go? Me and my wife are headed to Utah. Is it a trip you want to take? Are you saving up for that? Are you saving up to give money away? Are you saving up for your church community? Are you saving up for your city to make it a better city? Those are all things that are important to people, and I feel like that's where our mindset will really help. Once we help people out and see what that does for our mental, it'll help lead our budget into the correct direction. I really do feel that way. It's kind of worked in my life. I'm still working on that in my life to this day. But I believe it works. And I believe it's something that really could free your mind up about not having to worry about all the nonsense stuff you do not need in your life. The main point of this is to remember that the things you buy do not care about you at all. It's true. If you have a truck outside in the garage, it does not care if you live or die. The house you live in, you need it. You need shelter. But it doesn't care if you live or die. What does matter is people. Because people do care if you live or die. People do care what happens to you. And the more we focus on things that don't matter, the more we push away the people who do. And I feel like we do that a lot. And I feel like money, like the old saying, money is the root of all evil. I don't believe money is the root of all evil. I think money can be the root of all evil in the way that we idolize it. And I've done that in my life. I've kind of backed away from that with a couple items I'll talk about in the future, especially the anxiety I went through. After that, it started to put into perspective what actually does matter. And I've really changed my entire mindset in the ways here to kind of lean more towards people, relationships, family, God, and all those things. And it's really helped me. It's really benefited me a ton. And the last thing I want to do is I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to pick one thing that you pay a monthly bill on, one that you do not use, that you do not care about, that you might not even know is coming off your credit card. Pick one thing that you can live without if you're in a situation where your budget constrains your lifestyle, or your budget constrains your relationships, or your budget constrains your mental, because it does. Because the more you worry about having money to pay day-to-day activities and month-to-month activities, the more stress you put, the more anxiety you put, and the more depression you can enter into your life. I truly believe that. I've seen that. I've lived that. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I hope that you learned something. I hope that this helps. If you don't mind, hit like, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll respond to you. Thanks. Have a great day.